Live from New York, it's Ask an Engineer.
Hey everybody, and welcome to yet another Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Ask an Engineer. It's me, Lady Ada, here at the Adafruit factory in downtown Manhattan. To where you all are design and testing and shipping of the goodies that you know and love to build your projects with. I'm joined now with Mr. Lady Ada on camera control, keeping the chat going. An exciting show for you tonight with all sorts of news and new products coming soon, and maybe it's not out yet. I can't wait to get to all of them. Mr. Lady Ada, I want to tell them what's on tonight's show.
On tonight's show, the code is Monochrome. 10% off in the Adafruit store all the way up to 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time.
Look how it now matches the background. That's
right.
good.
Monochrome is Monochrome.
Monochrome.
Gets 10% off in the Adafruit store all the way up to 11:59. Everything except for Adabox and gift certificates. Show and tell people around the world showing and sharing their projects. Had some great projects and more. Lady Ada will talk about those. Some news in the world of Python on hardware. Pack the mailbag. We'll stop by and read your letters and more. Time travel. Look around the world of makers, hackers, artists, engineers, and we'll also talk about some upcoming events and some stuff from our jobs board, where you can post your job. If you're looking for a cool maker to join your company, go to jobs.adafruit.com, or if you have skills, post up on jobs.adafruit.com. 3D printing. Noah and Pedro have a cool video and also a sped up video. We're going to show both those. Some made in New York City factory footage. Going over those. Got some new products. We'll answer your questions at the end of the show. We do that over on Discord, where you can join all 11,000 humans. 24/7 hackerspace is what we like to call it. And we also have some top secret. We'll give away something. All that and more on, you guessed it, Ask an Engineer.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you got that code from before. It's Monochrome. And we have some giveaways. We're running out of pins, so here's
Running
the
low.
pins that we still have.
We still have some pins, but for $99 or more, you get a free half-size Perma PCB. Looks just like a half-size solidless breadboard. Take your project off your solidless breadboard and make it Perma Proto on this lovely gold-plated PCB. $149 or more, you get a free Sparky, the Blue Smoke Monster pin. It's the last pin we have, and we're running low on them. So if you want one of these free with your order, please order now, because I think by tomorrow we'll definitely be out. $199 or more, you get free UPS ground shipping. That's high quality ground shipping in the continental 48 and lower 48 states. It's trackable, it's insured, it'll get there where it says it's going to get there. And we have $299 or more, a free Circuit Playground Express, our all-in-one beginner, expert, intermediate developer board. You can use it with Arduino, MakeCode, MakerBlocks, CircuitPython, Golang, whatever you want. Comes with all sorts of sensors and buttons and LEDs, so it's a great way to get started. We have like hundreds of guys. Somebody even asked today, like, how am I going to get some 3rd and 4th graders started with learning electronics? He said, check out our Circuit Playground Express guides, and they're like, oh my goodness, you're right, these are great. We have so many ways to build projects and no soldering required, and that's free with your order of $299 or more. At each level, you get all the free stuff from before. So lots of free.
Okay. First shipping options in the US, UPS ground, best way to do it. Postal, if you're willing to wait a little bit longer, and DHL International is the way to go. In New York City, if you check out before 11 a.m. and your zip code is one of the ones that is supported here in Manhattan, we could do a same-day delivery. All right, show and tell. People around the world showing and sharing their projects.
Correct. We had all sorts of people.
Yeah, we had some cool stuff on the show and tell.
We had some people coming by from Adafruit, starting off with JP, who showed off tomorrow's project. He's going to be doing a series of PyPortal image display projects, starting with NASA Photo of the Day. These are cool photos of NASA engineers and spaceships and space. And every day they publish one photo. So you can have your PyPortal show off one photo per day. And he'll be doing more photo projects as well. Aaron showed off a Steven Universe gem, how to make a Steven Universe shirt so you can look like Steven with like the gold star on the red shirt. And also the belly button gem made of Circuit Playground Express with some hot glue molded on top. And when you yell, so you're excited, the gem lights up. Noah and Pedro made a really cute eink stand for our eink FeatherWings. We're going to even show off one of these FeatherWings today. And they also did a live demo showing how to update the image by dragging over a BMP. Scott had a MIDI keyboard connected through a MIDI DIN5 to 3.5 millimeter to another 3.5 millimeter to his SAM51 Game Boy cartridge. So basically, when he plays notes on his MIDI keyboard, it sends us MIDI commands to the SAMD51 on the MIDI cart, on the Game Boy cart, and it plays through the Game Boy synthesizer. So it's through the speaker itself. So it's very chiptune. But you can use like a normal MIDI keyboard. Mike B has started on making a sliding tile game for his PyPortal. So those games where it's like you have like 16 tiles and you like press them or slide them and then you have to get them in order. That's all we had when we were kids. Like we didn't have video games. We just had sliding tile games and those like marble toys where you like tilt the marble, do the marble run. Katney shut off her first board. It's the Vemel 7700. Went in the store last week and she finally got one. It has her name written in gold mask on the back, and it's so exciting. Look out for more hardware from Katney. And then from the community, we had TG Techie come by, and he's worked on a touch keyboard for the PyPortal, but it can also work with any SAMD51 or M4 board. Multi-language is coming right now to US, but you can tap to enter keys onto a text zone or something, and it's going to have Spanish support and maybe Klingon as well. And Matt is made a project for the Cape Cod Maker Faire. It looks like it's a Raspberry Pi with a display and connected to a VT220 terminal. And you go in front of it, and when you press a button, it turns on these like really old table lamps to light you up. It takes a photo, converts it to ASCII text, displays it on the VT220, and then will print it on a thermal printer or on a normal printer, all in ASCII. So if you love ASCII art and you're around Cape Cod, go check that out. It sounds like a lot of fun. And finally, Joey showed up for his first show and tell, and he's been working on the really interesting multi-language font support for Arduino using this 2 megabyte file, which is like a font pack, but it has like every character for like, pretty much the top, I guess, 100 most popular font systems. It's like a UTF-8 sort of system, but like for Arduino, which doesn't have native Unicode support. So really interesting, like really beautiful rendered font, and he had it rendered on eink displays, on a TFT display, a sharp memory display. So it looks like it can work with any of our displays that uses Adafruit GFX. And that's what we had on Show and Tell. Okay.
All participants on the Show and Tell get an SE on Show and Tell sticker, email support at adafruit.com if you're a kid. Have your parents do that, or whoever is keeping an eye on you. I don't know. Part of our Adafruit Live series of shows, JP is back, and he's going to be some programming note from us. So next week at this time,
we will not be here physically.
We're going to do Show and Tell, but then and we're going to be behind the scenes from 8 to 9 because JP is going to be doing the AdaBox unboxing. Tomorrow, JP has a show, however.
Yeah.
And he also is back. That means MakeCode Minute, and we're going to play last week's MakeCode Minute right now.
Okay. MakeCode away.
What I've created here in MakeCode is an interval timer. So this is useful for anything where you want to have a countdown timer where you can set the number of intervals in a preset number of seconds per interval. So in this case, it's something I use for different types of exercise. So if you're doing, let's say, planks or dead hangs or something where you want to count off 30 seconds, something like that. What I've set up is this system where I can add each interval of 5 seconds that I want, and then when I press both buttons together, in the simulator this is going to be A plus B, it's going to count off 5 seconds, and then with each 5 second it drops the LED to green for that 5 second set. We got 5 more seconds, and then when it reaches the end, it's going to ding. I don't know if you'll hear that, but in my onStart block, I'm setting the brightness, I'm setting all the pixels to yellow, and then I'm setting a couple of variables. I've got count, which is set to -1, and interval, which is set to 5. Then I'm going to set in this forever loop, the little indicator LED is just blinking once per second. What I do when I press the A button, I'm going to subtract 1 from that variable called count, and I'm going to set the pixel at that current number to yellow. When I press the B button, I'm going to interval up, and that's where we see how many seconds or intervals I'm setting. And then when I press A and B together, click those, first we're going to call this function called beeps, and that sets our little beep, beep, beep timer. Then we're going to run through this counter in 1 second increments, so we're counting down a second at a time, and then heading back through the number of pixels that we had set originally until we reach 0. So let me show you this on my actual Circuit Playground Express. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add 2 intervals to it, so that's going to be 10 seconds. Now when I press both of these buttons together, so that's where it starts. And now I can keep an eye on this if you're doing something like holding a plank position or dead hang or something like that, like I said. You can watch the little red LED blinking so that you can kind of count it down, and there you hear it beeps when it's time to finish. Now this doesn't just have to be used for exercise, like I said. Anywhere where you could want an interval timer, this is a pretty fun and flexible way to build one using the Circuit Playground Express inside of MakeCode.
Okay, so don't forget, JP show tomorrow. Next week, unboxing 8 to 9. We're still doing show until next week.
Yep.
So let's do some Python on hardware.
Yes, it's time for Blinka
There's a lot of stuff going on.
and Python and hardware. Sing a lot today.
Okay, Code Plus Community. Today, we joined another community.
Which community?
What was the Hackaday community?
Oh yeah, because we did that hack chat today.
Yeah, so we did Hack Chat Python and the Internet of Things. Dan, Kattni, and Scott, and you and myself.
It was a jam packed.
Yeah.
And David Stells showed up
David
when
Stells
we
was there.
mentioned Circuit Scheme.
Yeah, when you say it 3 times, he just comes out. And we talked about, it was about Internet of Things, and a lot of people just had questions about Circuit Python. So we answered a bunch of those, and we did a live broadcast behind the scenes so you could see what we were doing. And we talked about things like, this is a project I made, it's a little countdown clock to the talk about Internet of Things in Python. And at the end, we gave away 5 year passes to Adafruit IO. And I'll talk about some Adafruit IO stuff towards the end of the show. But this is kind of neat. Alex, the CTO at Hackaday, did this poster. I can't wait to... I said, hey, when I saw this poster, I'm like, hey, like you should do a poster book. I saw this cool Atari book where you can pull out the posters. And they're almost up to 100 hack chats, so I think they're going to do it.
Ooh.
And next show that I do, they announced the Hackaday Prize. I'll talk about that when I get all the information. They just announced it today. So anyways, that's what we did earlier today. And if you want to, you can go to the hackaday.io logs for that. You can relive the fun, and you can also look at the video that's on YouTube and see how we run this stuff behind the scenes. Big news, more big news. So a while back, we didn't know about this until people told us. TI is using CircuitPython on their calculators. But not only that, they have this little add-on device that's basically kind of like a trinket. And the cool thing is people are like, you know what, I have Adafruit hardware, maybe I can use that TI version of CircuitPython and just flash my Circuit Playground or a trinket. And the answer is yes.
Yeah, it just looks like the VAD PID, but then you can plug in any CircuitPython board, and it becomes like a little CircuitPython REPL.
Yeah.
Which is adorable.
And so if you're keeping score out there, there's the Casio calculator that uses MicroPython.
There's NumWorks.
There's NumWorks, which uses MicroPython. There's the TI 83 that uses CircuitPython. So it's a Python world, and I'm glad that we don't have to worry about putting it on a calculator because someone else did. Yay, open source.
Yeah.
So we'll try to find out more. It's only in France right now. France has a really good program for programming, and so they're learning lots of math, and the national programming language is Python. So that's why they're getting this stuff first, which is always weird to see like Texas Instruments having stuff that's only available in France. Like, what happened?
Oh, cool. The French are cool.
I live in the U.S. I know where Texas is. Anyhow,
True.
We're still working on CircuitPython 4.
We're up to Beta 6.
Beta 6, we're almost up to release candidate.
Very exciting.
So that's going to be coming out soon. We have a lot of PyPortals out, and I grabbed this tweet because we work really hard on stuff, and this person, Dan Jackson, summed it up better than we ever could. Adafruit PyPortal is super fascinating. It mounts a USB drive, edits the code, and when you save the file, it auto-reboots and runs it. Control-C at the serial console drops directly into the Python REPL. That's a better dev environment than I have for most of my professional career. Yes, thank you, Dan. That's exactly what we were trying to do. This is us saying, wouldn't it be great if it did all this? Well, we have that now.
Jane knows where it's at.
Yeah, so thank you for sending that, because often people kind of sum up things better than we ever could. Here's some projects.
Project. This one's from
Scott Hasselman.
Scott Hanselman, who has type 1 diabetes, and so he tracks. I guess he has a wireless blood sugar tracker, and he has it appear on like his computer and stuff. But he wanted to make a little display that all it showed him was how's his blood sugar doing? Is it going up? Is it going down? Like maybe just a simple color. This is kind of reminds me of the ambient display stuff that we saw like 10 years ago. So he has his own server that, he doesn't have, it's not public, it's a private server he runs that he uploads his data to log it. And then he made his PyPortal connect to the server, download the latest data, and then update text and graphics with a little arrow using the font that has an arrow in, I guess. And it displays his current blood sugar.
Yeah. He said he uses a Dexcom CGM, a continuous glucose meter, to manage his type 1 diabetes. The feed goes up every 5 minutes into an instance of Nightscout open source software hosted on Azure, and then it gives him a REST API to his own body. And then
so cool.
He uses this PyPortal as a glanceable display so he can manage his blood sugar quickly and easily.
I was like /proc/blood sugar.
Yeah, so that's a great use of PyPortal. Here's another great use. These are all ones that people have shared and sent in. This is from IBM Roanoke, and they have their jobs. And this is probably a JSON file or format. Mm-hmm. And application developer full stack summer internship at their location. You click next, and it shows next on. This is I think it's called Asana, and it's a
it's a ticket system.
Yeah, it's a ticket system. It's like Pivotal or Jira. There's lots of these to tell people what to do. And there is. And this displays it. This is another one where they got the data from it. Showed it on PyPortal. Another one that I thought was kind of neat, since everyone's going crazy over the Avengers Endgame, someone made a great poster series, and it just plays the different posters. This is technically our first sports one. This is Splatoon. It's like the leaderboard and the different battles that are coming out.
This is totally sports ball.
Yeah. TG Techie showed this off on Show and Tell, but I also wanted to mention this really cool UI work for a keyboard. And you can check that on our site and also in the newsletter. Split City DIY showed off our favorite chip, and then also showed porting Arduino code to CircuitPython.
How to write your own driver.
Yeah.
Oh, she puts it in the bundle.
Lots of reviews are coming out for the new NVIDIA Jetson. And the thing that Arduino Authority called out specifically is one of the key features is this GPIO stuff that you can do. And what is on Jetson? Well, the Jetson Nano also has a set of GPIO pins, and it's good news as they're Raspberry Pi compatible. The initial support is Adafruit Blanca, Python 3 library, and userland controller pins. So it is there for you to start doing stuff. Some events that are coming up. PyLadies is in Dublin, April 16th. They have a MicroPython chat. PyCon, that's a big thing that we're doing this year. So I think there's like 6 Adafruit people. DigiKey and Adafruit teamed up. Everyone at PyCon, like all 4,000 people, are getting a special edition DigiKey Circuit Playground Express Python powered Circuit Playground. Dan, Kattni, and Scott are going to be out there. And another thing about PyCon this year is there's open spaces. So on the afternoons of May 3rd, May 4th, and May 5th, explore your new Circuit Playground Express using CircuitPython. Hosts are Kattni, Dan, Scott, Melissa, Brian, and Brent. So that's all stuff that's going out to PyCon. The devices and our team will be there as well.
Everybody gets a free Scott.
Yeah, we had other.
Who is this?
Yeah, we had other Python news. This is a cool new library that someone's working on. We just want to make it easy to do graphics like this.
This is kind of nice.
Python, yeah. And then some other stuff that we're working on. So CircuitPython.org is almost done.
You've been cranking on it.
Well, it's almost done as far as like the most useful resource. So yeah, I guess I'll just switch to us for a second.
Okay. So let's talk about software downloads.
Well, so if you go to circuitpython.org/downloads, you can see all the CircuitPython powered devices.
Yeah.
And when we all worked on this, one of the things that we looked at was how everyone else does firmware downloads.
Yeah.
And we determined it was all terrible.
Correct.
And one of the stories, I was looking for firmware for something the other day. I think it was like a router. I was like, oh, I'll just update this router.
Cameras are like, oh yeah.
And you go and it's like first select a
Like your
language.
mouse.
First select the language, and then there's a pull down, and then you hit the pull down, and then like a gigabyte of like file comes down in the background. Your browser starts freaking, but in like maybe okay, now you're scrolling,
And then your mouse moves one
if you don't do it
pixel
right,
to the right.
and then as soon as you get one, and then it opens up another one, and another one,
Yeah.
another one, and then it does a pop up, and so you have to agree to these terms.
Yeah,
and
and then it's cookies.
and then it says now enter your email address, and we'll send you a link to it. And then if you're like, you know what, I'm not going to do this. I'll just do a Google search for it, and then it takes you to some shady site called like
Spammy.
downloads.com or something.
It's like downloadmalware.com.
Yeah. So what we did is something really nice. So we're getting closer. Take a look, do some pull requests. We got most of the text and most of the images. Still have some odds and ends to do, but goal is to get it done by PyCon. There's a few more days. This is one of the boards that showed up on there. This is UChip, or I guess you could say microchip. This is a really tiny version of like an Arduino Zero, but it works with CircuitPython. So that's one of the boards that's in there. And they were able to put text in, and we have the board. You can download the firmware for it. And every time we do a new build, it stays current. Other boards we added this week, Meow Meow.
Meow meow.
I call it Meowie Meowie.
Meowie meowie.
And I will always call it Meowie Meowie.
You can't help it.
Because that's just what I'm going to do. And we also have the CatWAN USB stick. So we added a bunch of other boards, but that was there. Help Wanted this week's going to be a little different. So normally I'm like, oh, here's a job on the jobs board. Here's skills that people posted. However, awesome CircuitPython, the newsletter every single week, the CircuitPython.org site,
Yeah.
we could always use your help. We're keeping up with everything that's going on, but it's getting tougher and tougher because there's so much going on. So if you go to CircuitPython.org, we just added awesome up there. Click that, and you can see like the latest and greatest. We have a lot of opportunities for folks. If you like collecting and categorizing things,
If you like knolling, do you want to like organize things and put
Yeah.
them into categories and tag them and just be like, it's so perfect?
yeah. And there's a lot of stuff going on in the world of Python on hardware. So now
It's actually getting to the point where you and I can't keep track of all of it.
can't keep track of it. So if you want to help out, it's in the awesome list. And then last up, because I don't have enough stuff to do, I've been researching the birthday of MicroPython.
Okay.
I will find this out. So this is the slide from Damien who made MicroPython. I think I'm going to say it's April 30th, 2013, because that's when he said start. And
Okay.
when the creator of something says start, that's when it started.
Okay.
So it might be coming up on, 6 years soon.
Yeah, and then by the end of that year,
Yeah, got a flash and
November,
LED
he
in
got-
September.
yeah.
November,
Then
yeah.
October,
Ripple.
USB, and then made a video, and then Kickstarter, and then
Yeah.
officially shipped everything out within a year and a half.
Yeah, but I don't think the Kickstarter officially finished
No,
2015.
because that's like everybody, like if the last person got the replacement
but
order.
even
I
if
think
it-
April 30th is a good one.
Even if it is, I'm just going to say like April 30th. Like people can argue.
also
on,
good.
People can argue on the
It's
internet
springtime.
and make fake accounts about who they're arguing with, all they want. But I think this is the way. I'm going to go.
Okay.
So I think it's going to be Happy Birthday, MicroPython, April 30th. I'll
Okay,
be 6
until we
years old.
find, that's the official start.
Until a bunch of sock puppet accounts tell me I'm wrong. Okay,
Check your email. All right,
that's Python on hardware.
thanks everybody. Blinka, 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 blinka time.
Yeah. Okay. Pack and mailbag. We read these letters to the entire company every single week. Adafruit. And Lady Ada, why don't you read this one?
Okay. Hi there. I just wanted to let you know about a pretty cool experience I had. I recently began supporting a local Girls Who Code club, and while speaking to the person running it, she told me the kids in their second year were starting to get interested in interfacing the programs they wrote to hardware. Ooh, I like that. The kids are at several different experience comfort levels, mostly using Scratch. Taking that information, I did some research into what might be a useful starting point with the most dangerous place for my wallet and read up on the Circuit Playground Express. Seemed like a good fit. Lots of onboard hardware to interface with, multiple languages including options similar to Scratch users, and the teacher agreed. So I started them off with a few educator packs. I'm pleased to say they were a big hit. The first evening they had a shot at the boards, they had a lot of fun, and I know this was important for me in my early days, a lot of positive reinforcement. If you check your records, you'll see I recently ordered a bunch more, just the boards this time, because the 6 we got to try out really aren't enough. And so in short summary, that's a winner award, thanks for making it. Thanks for using it. That's exactly what we made CircuitPython Express for. For kids, especially, or people who are beginners, who are their first experience programming and making, you can use MakeCode for drag and drop programming if this is your first experience, or if you just want to get started really fast, because MakeCode is like really fast to get started with. Just drag and drop some stuff, boom. You got interrupts going, you've got sound going, you got lights going. And then for the more experienced people, CircuitPython, you want to do some typing. And then for the really advanced people, Arduino, and then you can take it from there into like Golang or Rust or, Embed or whatever you want to do. Zephyr, you can even run that.
Okay. Time travel. Got a couple things that came in this week. This week, I'm going to call this, I think this is a trend and it's a first. You got a thank you note for a pull request.
It was a photo of a thank you note, but that counts.
Yeah, it says, thank you for inspiration, pure awesome. We are what we celebrate. But the person said, thanks for merging my pull requests upstream.
That's right. They did a great pull request. It passed Travis. I'm loving it. I was like, this is a nice pull request.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I'm putting this in time travel because
we're going to go look back.
I'm going to look back and say this
was a high point.
This was the first and only time that someone was nice on GitHub. No, so we have a really good community, in CircuitPython world and GitHub, but occasionally you have to you venture out into other parts of GitHub, and it's just like terrible. And I kind of want to fix it, but it's just going to take a while.
Yeah.
So I'm working on this like GitHub for Kids thing.
Yeah.
But it's not really for kids. Much like the Muppet Show wasn't actually for kids, and much like things for kids aren't actually for kids. They're kind of saying, hey, adults, like, pay attention. It's more like you have to hang out with your kids and think about all the bad things you've done as an adult and maybe like make the next generation better. But anyways, I thought that was cool that someone took the time to do that.
All right. Sweet.
Okay. PyCon is coming up, and we're going to keep mentioning this until it's...
we gave them a bunch of badges, right?
We gave them badges and money.
Okay.
We're a sponsor.
We're a sponsor.
So it is April 26th and 27th in Chicago.
Is it KiCad, KiCad? I don't know. Go there, find out, and report back to us.
You can go there and argue about it. I think I've heard it is KiCad, is KiCon.
KiCon?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. And then regular job boards, because I mentioned this in CircuitPython. Job boards this week, jobs.adafruit.com. This is embedded software engineer Accenture Mindtribe. So they're looking for someone who does microcontroller stuff.
I follow their blog. It's a great blog.
Yep. Turn stuff from prototype, work on production code, and exposure to mass production.
They work for Accenture?
Yep. Accenture.com.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Interesting. I thought it was its own startup. I guess they merged. They were a small group inside of it. They're really cool. Check out their blog if you haven't. It's really great content.
Yeah. Oh, Scott says KiCad. See? That's the thing.
I think Melissa says KitKat.
KitKat.
I'm going to go with that.
They got a new logo. If it's KiCad, I'm going to go with KiCad.
I don't know. The logo doesn't give any hints.
KiCad.
KitKat?
Yeah.
Hey,
I remember
KitKat.
I talked to someone who did stuff there because when we got permission for the badges, I said, is it KiCad, KiCad? And they said KiCad, but I'll go with KiCad. That's fine.
Still said KiCad. That's my favorite. Just skip the whole vowel completely.
I'm going to say KiCad from now on.
KiCad.
I'm going with KiCad.
Okay.
Open source hardware. I got some open source hardware news, and then we're going to do the Learn Guides.
We're an open source hardware company.
Okay. SparkFun has another Feather format device, and they have Feather headers.
DMX, it's a good idea. I don't have any DMX
So
stuff.
one of the things that we like to do is when our formats, our open formats like Feather is out there, or something like CircuitPython, we're always cool celebrating everyone who does something. So we added this to our boards list in Feather, and then we did a blog post because we're seeing Feather more and more places, and it's because we do open source.
Feather is an
hardware.
open standard. I have a document. If you're interested in making stuff Feather compatible, go for it. Like, seriously, like I just made it because I was personally wanting something like it. Check out the standard. If you follow it, you'll be able to have it be cross-compatible with all the existing Feather boards, which I think is pretty cool. And you got like Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. We've got Linux boards now that are Feather-shaped. So there's a really wide variety. As long as you basically stick to the format, the 3-volt logic, and the pins in the right places, you're good to go.
Yeah, and we're going to see Zach from Particle soon. They moved to the Feather format.
Yep.
So this is all working out.
Yes.
This is all working out. And JP, he mentioned that he's going to be doing a maker fair keynote, and his whole thing is he's going to talk about how sharing makes you a better maker. And we were running out of time on show and tell, so I was gonna try not to mess up this quote, but it's the quote that like when you light another candle with
Does not diminish
flame,
it, yeah.
it doesn't diminish the original candle. It just makes another light, and it gets brighter for all.
Yeah.
And I think that's the way that we've approached it. So when we see like, oh wow, TI has CircuitPython on a calculator, we're like, oh my god, that's so great. We don't have to do that now.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna like. I would never say like I can't believe you did that without asking me. I'm like, this is cool.
And then when we see boards that run CircuitPython, we're like, oh great, like that's something. Like there's lots of things that we're not going to get to. Like we didn't get to this yet. We want to do some things like this. We just didn't get to it yet, and we're probably going to do it, and it'll probably be a little different. But the fact that someone could take the work that we've done and then carry forward, that's really good. So, anyways, yay Feather format, good work. So that's our open source hardware news for the week. We have 1,816 guides.
Okay, this week we had a really cool musical glove. I think it's by Kathy. Oh, could you mind making? I can't remember the name of the person who.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it is Kathy. Sorry, I just want to make sure it's Kathy. She actually did a book about how to make a musical glove a couple years ago, I think, and so she rebuilt that project with the Circuit Playground Express here. And it's kind of like the mini Moo glove, but it's like not with a micro bit. You attach it to a glove with some Velcro, and as you turn your hand, it makes different like tones and chords. We got 2 breakout guides. Kattni wrote up for us. It's the Adafruit BMP388 precision barometric pressure sensor. We actually forgot to do a guide for this, so we have one now. So if you're using it with CircuitPython or Raspberry Pi or Arduino, you are good to go. Just follow the guide. We've got the VEML 7700 ambient light sensor as well. That's also another project. This was a board that Kattni designed. So we've got all the code in Arduino and CircuitPython, Raspberry Pi for that. We've got Erin, Steven Universe, cosplay shirt and gem. She talked about that. We have a little video we'll show afterwards. So if you're wondering what this is, stay tuned. We got 2 cool projects with the PyPortal from Brent. One is a data logging IoT scale. So we took an off-the-shelf postal scale, soldered some wires into it to get the data out, and then hooked it up to a PyPortal. And we have a library that reads the data from the scale and then uploads it to Adafruit IO. So you can have a data logging scale, which is actually not an easy thing to do, by the way. Like it's a difficult project to do inexpensively, because scales that have like any kind of data out connection are usually like $100 or more. The scale's only like $20, and then especially adding IoT is very difficult. So he is showing like if you want to track, for example, you have a bag of or a bucket of cat food, or you have like a lot of dogs, and you want to make sure that before the weight of the box gets under 5 pounds, you order more. So this could be like an IoT project that alerts you, or beehives. That's another project I've seen. People want to know the weight of the beehive, and it fluctuates a lot. And then when it gets to a certain level, they know, okay, time to get the honey out, and get the bees ready to make more honey. So there's a couple projects where you want to have weight that's logged out online. So this is a good guide that shows you how to do that with a 10-pound or 25-pound scale. And of course, it's adaptable for larger scales as well. We also have a PyPortal IoT weather station. So this is taking an anemometer, little anemometer spins around, and barometric pressure sensor, temperature sensor, UV sensor, all that stuff. The PyPortal all reads it in CircuitPython and uploads it to Adafruit IO as a group feed, so you can have like all this temperature data. We also have a light-up paper mache dragon with NeoPixels. We have a video coming next week for that, but check out the guide. It's beautiful. It uses an ostrich eggs, and it's a Circuit Playground Express with capacitive touch and NeoPixels that glow. And did a really cool trick for the spines of the dragon. It's hot glue that she molded into these spines, and she dotted the NeoPixel strip. But so she says it works great, and it has a beautiful effect. And it's just hot glue. And from Noah and Pedro, they did a little 3D printed eink FeatherWing stand for your desk.
Yeah, we'll have a video for that too.
Okay, so check out this glove.
Yeah, here's the glove. And here is the Steven Universe cosplay shirt and more from Aaron. Okie dokie.
Belly dancing Steven Universe to be Aaron.
That's right. Steven Universe has a movie coming out in the fall.
You should wear this
So it's
to
a big deal.
in the blind.
Like, you know, I think we caught the wave at the right time. Circuit Playground was made. MakeCode came along. Cartoon Network chatted with Adafruit, and
Yeah.
we're able to do these projects with Cartoon Network.
Yay.
So I think a lot of people are going to dress up.
Yes,
towards the end of the year, so now they have projects to do.
This is official. Yeah, we got a bunch of different projects from, like, I think we have like a Garnet,
Yeah.
like a Pearl Sword, and we have like Garnet's Gauntlets to a Steven Universe gem. So a lot of fun
Okay.
projects you can build.
IO News. You know, we do this thing called hug reports.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just because instead of bug reports, we don't actually hug or anything.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a
so-
psychological hug.
Yeah,
It's
and
like that
so-
thank you note. For
Yeah,
the
it is.
commit.
But it's better than saying, because, you know, when you do a lot of software development, it's all bugs. It's like, oh, it's never
If it
going
doesn't work, it doesn't work.
And it's all kind of bad news. But we
Yeah.
do hug report. So a hug report to Brent. Brent is starting probably an Adafruit IO newsletter.
Yay.
Because there's so much stuff going on.
Well, he's doing a lot of
and,
stuff, too.
And if I didn't have to, because I'd have another job, I'd have to do Adafruit.
Yeah, you have to run this thing.
I have to run this Adafruit thing, and I wish I had more time to write, because that would be one of the newsletters I would want to write. But right now I'm like on CircuitPython and Python on hardware stuff, and it's like 5,000 words a week.
No, you're writing like a magazine every
it's
week.
coming up, yeah. But there's and I always feel like we're missing out on stuff. But Brent is starting up a monthly post, and then that'll turn into a newsletter. So here's just some of the news.
Okay.
I want to get through this. Here's some stats. Adafruit IO, we have, I'm just going to round up because it's a little bit more than it is right now. It's about 16,000 active users. 16,000 active users. And we have 500 plus Adafruit plus subscribers, people who have the year pass or they're doing the monthly thing.
Yay.
We added more things to the subscription model. We don't have investors. We're not selling you. We're not trying to get all eyeballs. When you do a pro account, it's paying for the service.
We're not trying to like do a growth hack thing and then like selling
Yeah.
it off. It's like, this is it.
Yep.
What you get.
Brent posted up the sneak peek, the new Adafruit IO API docs. Take a look at that. We have the Adafruit IO Zapier integration now in early access. For a really long time, I like these automation tools. So I use if then this app, but I like Zapier quite a bit. It is you can do more programming like manipulation with your data. So for IO, it pairs nicely.
Yes,
as I
if this
said.
is a little bit simpler, and it's meant for like off-the-shelf hardware that you like buy, and you're like, okay, I want to integrate. But Zapier's like you're okay with doing some massaging of the data to get more powerful stuff.
We have our All of the Internet Things episode 4, Adafruit IO just posted. We have our Powered by Adafruit IO projects from the community. You can see all those. Monitor garage door with the Feather Huzzah and Adafruit IO. I will tell you the number one project that people always ask us about or tell us about is I forgot to close my garage door when I left.
Garage door
That's
closers.
all. They're like, that's all. I will learn anything. I will do anything. I just want to know if I left my garage door open when I left.
That and beehives.
Nope, didn't hear that one as much.
Really?
No, it's the garage door one.
Okay, that's true.
Garage door, and then followed by, I just want to know if my basement flooded. And these are all easy projects too now.
That is well, we watched that video last night. That's basically like the entire TV show. It was just like
there was a lot of people preparing
and like garage flooding, and I want to know, and like my home and my castle.
IoT office door using PyPortal and blood glucose that we already talked about, and then the Google Assistant based appliance control using ESP32 and Adafruit IO. Adafruit IO powered PowerPoint slide controller, meeting forecasts, and more. Now you're probably wondering, why is it that Adafruit IO works with all these devices? Because we built it that way. You don't have to use Adafruit hardware with it if you don't want to.
You don't lock you down. You can use anything that has REST or MQTT. These are totally open standards. And it's like, we make it really easy. Like, there's no bearer certificates. There's no self-signed certificates required. For that, you can always go to Azure or Google Cloud. Like, they'll provide that. But for most people's projects, you can do SSL. You have your key. You have your password. And you just have MQTT or REST endpoints.
So since Brent's in the chat, Brent, good work on this. Trust me, I know what it's like to work on a giant summary of all the things that's going on, because you have to know all about it, then you have to write about it, and you have to make sure that there's things for people to do. And when you read this, it's like, okay, this is all this stuff that is new for IO. This is all stuff that people are doing. I want to do this. Where do I go next? And that it's the call to action, as they say in the biz. So good work on this blog post, which is also very newsletter-like. Brent. And anytime we do a newsletter, we also post it up as a blog post too. So even if you don't want to have a newsletter, you can get it as a blog post.
True.
So everyone in the chat, give Brent one of the emojis that mean you like him.
Yay.
Okay. Next up is AdaBox. We have the video that we're going to be doing with JP next week.
Next week.
8 p.m.
Right now, you would be watching JP. We'll be there in the chat, answering questions, helping people, discussing stuff. So if you have an AdaBox, you want to hang out at the unboxing, even before we unboxed it, it's a good time. Hang out with your friends, your AdaBox pals. It's part of the community. We do this only 4 times a year, so come on by.
In New York City, here is some factory footage.
Bleep bloop.
And like always, we have a nice view
Well, that's a nice sunset.
outside the picking places. Okay, 3D printing, Don Pedro, 3D printing up a bunch of stuff.
E-ink today. E-ink FeatherWings.
Yeah, we have, if you stick around for the not out yet, we're gonna talk a bunch about e-ink.
Yeah, there's more
So,
ink to come.
Let's just, let's start the e-ink appetizer
Okay.
with this video.
A petite bouche.
Yum.
Yum.
Okay, and then we have a speed up.
Okay.
It's a dragon.
Rawr.
Okay, and don't forget every Wednesday, Hangouts, Don Pedro. This
Yes.
is where you learn how to make all this stuff.
Yeah, or just have fun with your 3D printer. Like you got one and you want to make stuff, you want to 3D print things.
And you got a 3D printer and you're like, I'm totally going to do a bunch of stuff, but then you
you're
never
like,
did. Yeah.
You're like, yeah, go
now
ahead.
you can.
Yeah,
Now
go
you
ahead.
can do
But now you can do
stuff.
cool stuff like that really neat dragon or some of the projects like the stands. People really like those stands.
Yeah. Okay. Before we go over to new products, the code is Monochrome.
Monochrome,
Yeah. Okay.
not polychrome.
No. I think we won't get a cease and desist for that.
Oh no.
Speaking of, I got to.
I know, I should have done that song.
I'm dealing with a cease and desist from
No.
Germany because Germany has really weird copyright laws. So something could be public domain and okay in the U.S. and not in Germany. So I have to deal with that now. Anyways,
Oh.
long story. Okay.
In the store, we have the AdaBox 11s. So we've shipped them all out. And here's all the ones we have left over. So we have a couple in stock. If you haven't unboxed your AdaBox, turn away, close your eyes and cover your ears. But it comes with a PyPortal, with an ADT 7410 from Analog Devices, and DigiKey sponsored this. It's really cool graphics. It's very space themed. We wanted to go with it's PyPortal, but there's also space. Comes with an enclosure you can put on your desk, and a 2 meter long cable. So if you've been interested in AdaBox, maybe you missed this one, or maybe you really liked it and you want to give it as a gift, comes in a nice gift box ready to go. It has everything you need to start making your own IoT devices.
Okay.
Monochrome time.
Woo.
We have
That's the code.
we have some e-ink displays that are monochrome. This one is just a loop, but it shows you actually how fast the display updates. So we have tricolor displays, and now we have monochrome. And they're about the same price. You're like, well, why would I ever get the monochrome when I could get 3 colors for the same price? Well, these are higher resolution. So they're, I think, like 30% more pixels. They're higher res than the tricolor. And they update a lot faster. So if you don't need that extra red spot color, also another thing is they don't have that pinkish hue, which the red dye always kind of makes the display a little pinkish. But the monochrome one, it's very crisp and clear, and again, it's much higher resolution. I think it's 150 by 122 pixels instead of like 104 by 122. So it is a nicer display. You get more pixels on it. But just like the FeatherWing before, it comes with an SD card on the back and some SRAM. So the 8 kilobytes of display data, or whatever it is, 6K, you don't have to store that in RAM, because you do have to write the display all at once. So what we do is we have an SRAM chip that you can write all your pixel data to, and it buffers it for you. So you can use this display even with an Atmega 32U4, 328, or even an M0 where maybe you don't want to use all your RAM, or CircuitPython, where, again, you don't have a ton of RAM left over from frame buffer. You can still do all the font and graphic stuff that you'd like, but without having to lose all that RAM to a frame buffer.
Okay, and we also have other ones.
Oh, can you just show the back real fast? Because
Oh, you want to show the back?
Yeah. So you plug a FeatherWing in, to your display there's a big reset button and an SD card that you can use to store fonts or files or whatever you like. And yeah, you just plug any FeatherWing into it. And then we also have a 1.54 inch e-ink monochrome display. Likewise, it's also higher resolution. Instead of 150 by 150, it's 200 by 200. So it's a higher resolution display. It's monochrome, also updates faster. This one's a breakout, so you can use it with any board. Comes with level shifting, so you can use it with 3 or 5 volt logic. Has an SRAM chip, again, to buffer that entire display for you. And I have the demo here. It's actually running CircuitPython. Give it a second. It alternates between the display, and so you can see a faint image. But there you go. So you see how fast it updates. It updates only like a second or two, compared to the tricolor. Getting that red color to display takes a lot of time. It takes like 16 seconds, whereas the monochrome displays update much, much faster. So this is an itsy bitsy M4 running it. You see a little bit of a ghost image. If you want, just refresh it twice, and it'll get that ghost image to go away. It'll rush, so I only did 1 refresh. But yeah, updates really fast, and of course, it's low power. You can unplug it. Oh, I did it right in the middle of the refresh. But
That's cool.
yeah, so I got it right in the middle. But if it wasn't, the image would stay.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'll plug it right back in. And
One of the things that I like as someone who gets to test these is when we use CircuitPython, it just shows up as a USB drive and you just drag your images over, which is way better than all the other ways of doing e-ink.
Yeah, you can display bitmaps, your bitmap code, and of course, we'll be working on adding like all font support. In Arduino, it's supported by GFX, which has a bunch of fonts.
Yeah. Okay. Did you want to show this off again, or are you done with this?
Hold on.
Okay.
I have to move fast.
You wanted to show this before. So.
Yeah, so there you go. If you unplug it fast enough, it stays on. It's bistable.
Okay.
It's pretty cool.
And what is your car should be?
Yeah, light but monochromatic.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do a fast recap. You ready?
Okay. New. We got the AdaBox 11 in PyPortal space theme. You get a PyPortal S7051 with a 3.2-inch display and Wi-Fi and SD card. It's like a super jam-packed and 2-meter long Blinka cable and a case. So it's a great gift, or if you want to just get started with PyPortal. We have an update to our 2.13-inch FeatherWing. This time it's monochrome instead of tricolor. It's also higher resolution than the tricolor. So that's a nice bonus. It's 250 by 120 pixels. So you get more pixels. Okay. And we also have an update to the 54-inch e-ink breakout. Also higher res, 200 by 200 instead of 150 by 150. Both of these come with an SRAM backup, so you don't have to buffer the display. The breakout has level shifting, and both have an SD card slot. The end.
All right. So don't forget, Monochrome is the code that will save you 10% off. We have some top secret.
I do.
Yeah, we have top secret here, and then we also have some images. So
Want to show the video while I grab them?
Yeah, so I'm
Okay.
going to show this. We filmed this briefly, and it's just 45 seconds of. This is a miniature version of Desk of Lady Ada. One of the reasons we haven't been able to do Desk of Lady Ada is because there was a giant flood thing, and we don't really live in a normal apartment now. It's kind of a disaster area that humans shouldn't live in. So we can't really, like, pieces of ceiling fall down. It'll be fixed eventually. That's apartment life in New York sometimes. So that's why there's this one little area where we can kind of still do some things. Anyways, here's the video. What is this?
Hey, it's an e-ink party all up in here on April 1st. I got all these e-ink displays from the tiniest little flexible one all the way to this massive 4.2-inch one. And I'm getting the code working on my itsy bitsy M4 using Blinka, using CircuitPython. This weekend I wrote up drivers for all these chipsets and also tested out this e-ink shield, which you can see right here. It's got buttons, a tricolor display. Right now it's actually getting quotes from Adafruit.com using the new Wi-Fi enabled Metro M4 Airlift. So it's just all e-ink all the time here. All Blinka. So cute.
Okay, so you have all of these out here. All right,
Yeah, I thought
let's take a
I could show them off.
Okay.
So we got the cool flexible
Yeah.
e-ink display. So those are good. So this is a
Yep.
large flexi. So you could like make a bracelet or something.
That's right.
And I got some 2.9-inch displays, and then 2.7, and then that monochrome high res one. And then I didn't bring the 4.2-inch. I forgot it because it's just so big. But we
Yeah.
got the 4.2-inch, and then this is
Then what do you got there?
it's updating right now. So this is the e-ink shield. So you can see how long the tricolor displays take to update. It says, "What I cannot create, I do not understand," by Richard Feynman. So this is the e-ink shield. So it's a 2.7-inch display you get 5 buttons, and the buttons don't do anything on this demo. This is getting quotes from our online quote server, and this is the prototype of the Metro M4 Airlift. So it's a Metro M4, 7051. It has a crypto chip if you'd like, and ESP32 Wi-Fi coprocessor for connecting to the internet. So it works with CircuitPython or Arduino, just like the PyPortal does. Exact same code base. So I can reset that. And then I've got the Airlift PCBs. So this is the ESP coprocessor, and I got that cute gold box. The lift is in a reverse mask, so it's got the gold shine through.
So here is the PCBs of the e-ink.
That's the ink shield. Yeah, that's done.
And then here's the Feather Airlift.
The Feather Airlift, so it'll be a little ESP coprocessor.
Yeah. And then we showed these last week. These are the Metro M4 Airlift and Airlift Lite.
Yeah.
And here's some bigger versions.
So that's the nice silkscreen version of what I just showed, but
And
like
then-
good looking.
We added this to circuitpython.org/downloads because it has a spot for it, and it's pretty easy to figure out what we're working on. So this is the Pi badge, and these are some.
It does exactly what you think. It's
Yeah.
it's a Pi badge.
It's a badge, and it's a
Pi.
gaming thing. Okay, that is top secret.
Okay. Whew. That's very secretive.
Okay. Yeah, let's answer some questions. I have some lined up.
Sure. Hit me.
We do that at adafruit.it/discord. I'll answer these from the ones at the bottom. Gus wanted to know, was a Adafruit IO year pass included in the box? Yeah, make sure it wasn't slipped under.
It's super skinny.
Underneath, because it's a beautiful looking card.
It's
that
very
looks like,
thin.
That looks like this. But if you didn't get it, email support@adafruit.com and they'll send you out a replacement card. If you didn't, could have slipped.
But it's very thin, and it sometimes slips between
Okay.
the tissues.
Question: is there library support for the partial less blinky updates on the monochrome e-paper displays?
Not yet, but if you are interested in helping, the code isn't too tough to write. I just wanted to start with getting the full updates working, because if that works, then it's not too hard to add partial. But you'd have to figure out, like, do you always want to do partial updates, or like, because you only really have display, and then do you tell it the coordinates? So you'd have to do dirty rectangle tracking, so you only update the sections that have been updated,
Okay.
or refresh the parts that have been updated.
Someone decided to text me a question about CircuitPython while I'm They should join the show.
I know.
Okay. Next up, I have a 3D resin printer, and I want to print my own breadboards. Where can I find the rails that go inside the breadboard?
Ooh.
I've looked everywhere online for them and cannot find them. I'm not sure what they're actually called.
I know what you're talking about, and I don't know that you can buy them. I've never seen them available for purchase. You might have to get an existing breadboard. I don't know. That's a very, it's a weird question, but I know you're talking about the little spring clips. Yeah, you can also bend your own. I mean, it's just sheet metal, and you just, bend it into like a grippy shape. But yeah, sorry, I don't think you can buy them easily.
Okay.
Have a friend with a breadboard factory, slip you some.
Next, thank you for the answer. Double check. Okay. What does Adafruit use to get its quotes on the website? Would like to do the same for my website. I found them.
Yeah, we just put them up as it's a one gigantic JSON file.
Adafruit.com/quotes. You can check them out, and they're all there. And in our quotes demo, there's a JSON file. And
Yeah. If you want to make your own service, I think WordPress has plugins to do stuff like this.
there's lots of quote services.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. I think that's going to be it. I think Eric had one in the chat that scrolled away. I can't find it. Oh, does the display get affected by a magnet? An eink display? No.
No, it's not magnetic particles. They're electrostatic particles. I mean, I don't think that if you go up a magnetic back and forth really fast, you might eventually mess it up, but it's not going to be affected by a magnet normally.
Okay. And I think that's going to be it for questions, unless other people have questions.
It's a good question time.
Yeah, we agreed it's KiCad now.
KiCad?
Yeah.
I like KiCad. You just skip the line.
Because, I think I'll remember that better, too. KiCad.
KiCad.
Also, it makes it easier for me because the keyhole logo
For the open
for
source.
open source, because I have a whole thing with that.
Yeah.
Oh, can you dim the PyPortal?
Yes, there's a backlight. You can dim it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, Eric had one. I think that was the one I was thinking of. It was about whether the Feather M0 Bluefruit is supported by CircuitPython, the
It
non-express
is,
one.
but not well. You can check out, JP did a guide on making a Bluefruit money doll, and we used the Bluefruit M0 Express, so the non-express. You can do it, it's just not, it doesn't have a big future, because we're going to be working on the NR52840 more. But you can use it.
Okay. What do you want to give away this week?
We're going to AdaBox.
Really?
Yeah,
That's a lot.
I know, but it's already in a box. It's like,
All
makes
right.
it really easy for you.
Yeah. All right.
Just a box.
Oh, I can. I'll answer the next question while we're doing this. Will the PyPorters ever go back and start? Yeah.
We do, but boy, we sell them out fast.
Once people stop buying them, it's now turning into one of my second favorite quotes about like stuff being like no one goes to the Apple Store. It's always too busy.
Yeah.
Like no one's buying PyPortals. They're always out of
There's a
stock.
I know.
So we put them in and they evaporate. Right now. The
It's like
hotcake
that, yeah.
the hotcake factory now refers to hotcakes as PyPortals. So we made something kind of fun. And
We sold a couple. We put in a couple hundred at a time, and they sell through very fast.
And it's fine. This happens in the beginning of a product line. We don't take back orders for good reasons because it never works out. Ask anyone who works for an e-commerce company about back orders. This doesn't work. So we'd rather just notify you when we actually have them. So when you order it, it ships. Okay. So anyhow.
I got the phone.
Oh yeah.
There's a cat.
How do you want to give this away?
The first person to call this phone number and answer the 3 magical questions will win the AdaBox 11. If you have one, you can get another one. But you've won something before on this show, you can't win again. Only one winner per my show on this lifetime. When you call up, I'm going to say ahoy, ahoy. And I'm going to ask you your name, where you're calling from, and a project you're working on or you want to work on, and you have to answer those questions, and then we'll send you an AdaBox. So it's free stuff. We'll send it anywhere in the world. Call this phone.
Yeah.
It's going to ring twice. I'm going to say ahoy, ahoy. And then...
Yeah, I'll recap one of the scripts. So, correction, can you dim a PyPortal screen? Yeah, you can do that. You can dim a screen.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
I don't think we have example code for it quite yet. I think the image reader library does the dimming.
It does in and out.
There's maybe set backlight is the command. But you definitely can do it. I mean, like we've done it before.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, someone's gonna win this this ADA box.
okay.
All right. Cool.
Has to ring one more time.
Yeah.
Okay. Ahoy, ahoy.
Ahoy, ahoy.
Ahoy,
Hello?
ahoy. Hello, ahoy. Please turn down your computer audio.
Yeah.
Okay.
You won.
Hi. This is
Hi.
Sam. I'm calling from Ohio.
Hi, sorry, what's your name again?
My name is Sam. Last name is Joseph.
Hi, Sam from Ohio. Well, congratulations. You were able to turn down your computer audio and answer the 2 questions, so you've won an AdaBox 11. Congratulations. We're going to send that to you for free. All you have to do is email support@adafruit.com and say, hey, it's Sam from Ohio. I want a product number 4061.
4061.
Yep, and they'll send that out to you. So, Sam from Ohio, what's the project you're working on or you want to work on?
I am working on it right now. It's Adafruit IO, and it's just different sensors in the house, like motion and other types of sensors. So I know what's going on in the house. On the way.
Yeah, well, add a Pi portal. You can have it display the data from Adafruit IO. You can use it as a control panel for your house. So that can be kind of neat. Well, I can't wait to see what you do with it. So don't forget to email support@Adafruit, and we'll send you out that free stuff. And then come by on the show and tell us sometime and show us off your Internet of Things house, because that sounds awesome.
All right. Very good.
All right, well, thanks, Sam. Good night.
All right. Good night.
Good night. Okay,
That was a good
success. Good prize. Thanks, Sam from Ohio.
Okay. Well, that was our show for tonight.
Yes. Thank you, everybody. It was a pleasure. We basically had 3 shows today because we did the hack chat for an hour.
Yeah.
We did show. We had actually another show at 4, and then the internal show. We had show and tell, and then this. So if
Yeah.
you
It was a long day.
if you're like, wow, those people look really tired, like they're the tiredest goths, and like I would really like to make them a little happy. Why don't you pick up something from the Adafruit store so we can pay for all this?
Yeah. It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work,
But we'll keep doing it.
but we like to win.
Yeah.
High portals for everyone, and then
yeah.
I'm going to work on these airlifts tonight. I got to
Yep.
get the tester going.
We got that going on. Okay.
All right, thanks everybody.
All right. Thanks, folks. Thank you to all of our team members, to cars in Adafruit Slack, helping out behind the scenes. Thanks to all the Adafruit remote team members and more, all the folks that showed up on the show and tell. Thank you to all our Adafruit employees who keep this place going every single day. We will see everybody next week on show and tell, but don't forget, JP is on the unboxing. That is next week. And that's also good because apparently we might get kicked out of our apartment because we have to get that construction thing because of the flood
like
thing
Brazil.
that I was talking about.
They're gonna tear
Not the
up-
country Brazil, the
No,
movie
no,
Brazil.
the movie.
Yeah.
No, the country Brazil is like, got beaches and like, great food.
No.
Absolutely not. This
No,
is totally
no.
727 B/6 or whatever.
Yeah. And there isn't like a friendly Robert De Niro character that comes in and fix our
Or like a
ducts.
really cool lady with a truck.
Nope.
Nope, this is just totally hoses
Brazil.
and
Okay.
forms and
So
insurance
that's next week.
adjusters.
So we probably wouldn't have been able to do a show anyways because we have to like do some stuff.
No, I gotta vacate.
Okay.
Thanks,
So
everybody.
that's it. We'll see everybody next week. Here comes your moment of Zener.
Good night.
Bye.
Brazil.